Hi, I'm Femi OK and you're in the stream. Today, Bangladesh's bloggers. Why are they being targeted and what impact are their attacks having on free expression? This is a big story for Bangladesh. We wanted to unpack it for our international audience as well. Helping us start this online, Malika Bilal, what do you have?
Well, we are hearing from Bangladeshis and their differing opinions on what you should or should not write online and what you should say, but they're pretty much united on the fact that when you say it, you shouldn't be killed for it. So take a look at this tweet. This is straight out of Bangladesh. She writes, Aisha says, "I'm a Bangladeshi and we all demand true justice for bloggers who are killed and for all innocent people who are being killed every day." There are more tweets like that. Of course, we want you to join in with your voice. You can let us know what you think with hashtag AJStream.
Joining us right here in the studio, we have Shamim Ahmed. He's Minister of Press for Bangladesh's embassy in Washington, D.C. In Dhaka, Bangladesh, Tamina Rahman is the Bangladesh and South Asia Director for Article 19. That's a London-based group promoting freedom of expression. In Oxford, UK, Rayhan Rashid is a human rights activist with the International Crime Strategy Forum. And in Atlanta, Georgia, Rafida Bona Ahmed is a blogger with the website Mokta Mona, or Free Thinker. She's also the wife of the murdered blogger Avijit Roy. We're going to be hearing from all of our guests in just a moment, but let me give you a little bit of background to this story. On August the 7th, attackers in Bangladesh killed Niloy Chatterjee, an atheist blogger. Now, Niloy was hacked to death with machetes, and it was the fourth such killing of a blogger since February. For Bangladesh's blogging community, the murders are seen as assaults on free thought and the freedom to criticize religious extremism. Rights groups say the attacks are a result of growing religious conservatism clashing in a nation founded by secular ideals. So far, no convictions have been made in any of the murder cases, and in Dhaka, citizens are demanding that the government take a stronger stance against the killings. So today we want to know more about these bloggers and the effect these attacks are having on free expression in Bangladesh. Rafida, I can only start with you. You know what it's like to be attacked. And you were in Bangladesh in February with your husband. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, we were in Bangladesh. We're attending the book fair. Avijit had, my husband, Dr. Avijit Roy, had 2 books published this year. And we were attending the book fair and we were attacked by the Islamic terrorists. The Indian subcontinent, Al-Qaeda, has claimed responsibility for this. We were attacked in the middle of the street, in front of like thousands of people, very well-lit streets, attacked with machetes. And Avijit was killed. He was hacked to death. And I was gravely injured with 4 head wounds and also sliced of finger and a lot of other wounds all over my body. I was under treatment for 4 months. Avijit, though, like this was the beginning of the year for 2015, this was the first killing by the Islamic terrorists, though they have killed Rajib. So there have been like 5 killings in last couple of years in Bangladesh, 5 killings of the atheist bloggers, free thinkers, writers in Bangladesh by the Islamic terrorists.
Rafida, what was it that you and Avijit were doing that would make somebody want you dead? What did you write? What did you blog about that could be in the least bit deadly?
That is a very good question. So Avijit founded the first online platform for free thinkers, secular activists, and also a lot of different people who wanted to express their ideas and have freedom of expression. And it actually grew into a pretty strong movement where we had the free thinkers, the secular people expressing their ideas about the 21st century problems, national problems, international problems. And also we were very bold about critiquing religion, all religions, right. Including Islam. So I guess that has hit the nerve.
Sure. Malika, go ahead.
Well, it's picking up on the question you asked, Femi. This is Muhammad Ali on Twitter who says, blogging is controversial here in Bangladesh. It's controversial when we talk controversy. So, Tahmina, with that in mind, I want to go to this next tweet before I go to you. This is Cyberjoyd, and he wanted to know, are these bloggers secular bloggers or are they religious bashers? Tahmina, what was your take?
Bangladesh has a very vibrant online expression scene, and bloggers write all sorts of things, and they're very diverse in the kind of things they write. They're very diverse in who they are and the kind of things they write, where they come from. So Bangladesh has a very vibrant and a diverse online expression scene, and from this diversity, of course, there are all sorts of things they write on. They write on, as Rafida was saying, on political issues, on religious issues, religious belief, art, culture, you name it, cuisine, many diverse issues.
Exactly. If I can make my point here, like let's take the example of my late husband, Avijit Roy. He wrote and edited 10 books. The topics extend from science and rationalism, literature, secularism, philosophy of disbelief, though we are all atheist bloggers here. His books covered history of physics, starting from that to evolutionary psychology, the science behind homosexuality, literature, literary book about the Rabindranath Tagore, and also like how the universe was, or the origin of the universe from zero. So though I know the common rhetoric is that we try to say that we are just trying to bash religion or Islam, because these people are very sensitive about these things, we do critique everything and anything we think is not providing justice or is not right.
Rafida, do you feel that then you're deliberately, I think you just answered that really just right there, that you're deliberately being provocative, you're trying to make people think? You're...
I don't know if the word is provocative, right? We absolutely want people to think, and that's the basis of knowledge, right? That's the basis of human civilization. I guess we are here in 21st century with all the background of philosophy and knowledge and like Islamology, like anything you talk about, the human civilization, we are here because we have challenged each other. We have actually encouraged each other to think. And we haven't taken things for granted. Though I know over the course of history, there have been fundamentalists. We do see the Islamic fundamentalists today, but think about when Bruno was burned, or Galileo was punished by the Christian fundamentalists. So we have seen these kind of things in history again and again and again. This is a new phenomena in 21st century, but this is a kind of a repeat of what we have seen.
Can I, if I may interject, that what Rafida was saying, and my take on it is that free expression is all about promoting discussion and debate, and people should feel free to express their opinions and views without feeling fear or intimidation. And online expression is a new form of taking that debate using new technology. Debates on religion, debates on politics have always been there and have been had. So with the internet, it's just faster, and it's probably quicker and much more interactive. So it's a new technology within which all of these debates are taking place. They have always been there, and this has just been taken into new heights in speedier fashion.
Well, picking up on you saying that this has been taken to new heights, there's also a reminder here from someone online, and he gives us another reason we're seeing this. He says bloggers were killed not only because of criticizing religion, but also for demanding war crimes justice. So, Rehan, is there a political element to this?
Actually, that's what I wanted to comment on. Tahmina and Bonna, they both actually covered the opinions that are reflected in the blogs. They're so diverse. But what we need to understand that these blogger killings, they are not happening in isolation. There is a much wider context to it. One of the tweets you just mentioned that highlighted that particular point. Yes, it is a free speech issue where free speech is restricted, free thinking is restricted. And this year alone, we lost 4 atheist bloggers, secular bloggers. But we also need to keep in mind that particularly the context of it, that there is one thing that actually binds all these murdered bloggers together. And that common thread was all of them were actually vocal supporters of the war crimes justice process that has been taking place in Bangladesh for the last 5 years. So, and particularly the blogger killings. Rafida mentioned the first victim, that was Rajiv Haider. That happened at the height of the Shahbag movement. That was a huge popular secular movement, secular uprising in favor of the justice process. So with him, the killing started. And afterwards, it is not just the atheist bloggers who were killed. There were other bloggers who were not exactly atheists. They might as well be believers,
Right.
but they have also been targeted and killed. So,
Rayhan, let me just check in with the Minister for Press for Bangladesh Embassy right here in Washington, D.C. Shamim, Rayhan said that there's not space for freedom of expression in Bangladesh.
I think it's not correct observation that we don't have freedom of expression. We believe that in Bangladesh at this moment there is full freedom of expression and speeches and writings, so everybody can express their opinion freely without any fear and intimidation.
Why do you? But then we've got 5 bloggers
yes,
who not only were intimidated, they were murdered.
Question of killing of bloggers, yes, we very much shocked at the killing of bloggers. We condemn the killing, and the present government is very serious. It pursues a policy of zero tolerance against all extremism, and each and every killing, our intelligence and police, they have captured some suspects, and the investigations are on.
So for these 5, guess one at a time. Let Shamim just finish this thought, and then we come back.
But it's not the problem is they said that there is problem of freedom of expression. The conflict comes when the bloggers they have the independence, they have the right not to believe in God, not to believe in religion, not to believe in Islam. They have their own rights.
Okay.
But the problem is when some of the bloggers, I will not mention, some of the writings of the bloggers conflict with Islam. They ridiculed Islam and its prophet. And you know, Bangladesh is 160 million people, 90% are Muslims,
Yeah.
and they are very much secular in nature. We are very moderate Muslim, but at the same time, there are some extremist groups, religion-based political parties, so
Okay.
they take chance of saying that, oh, you have ridiculed our religion, a prophet, you made the derogatory remarks about the prophet and Islam, and they take the advantage of the situation.
All right, Shamim, take a pause for a moment. Let me just take Rayhan and then Rafida, only one at a time, because he can only answer one question at a time. Rayhan, go ahead.
I have to humbly disagree with what Mr. Shamim Mohammed said. These bloggers, he's claiming that there is free speech, but I cannot agree with that, because if there is free speech, why the bloggers are feeling so insecure in the current climate in Bangladesh, number one. And number two, he's saying that the bloggers should be more cautious about what they write. But isn't that the very essence of free
bloggers
speech?
have the right to whatever they feel. But the problem is, if anyone's writing hurts the religious sentiment of
Rayhan, take a pause for a moment. So we've only got one voice at a time. Hold tight.
I may be an atheist. I don't believe in God, no problem.
So bloggers in
but
let's
if
make
my
this
writing
speech
hurts
must
the
be
religious
condemned
feeling of
Rayhan,
other
Rafida,
people,
hold tight one minute. Hold tight 1 minute. All right, I just want to make sure I've got this very clear. Guys, hold tight for a minute, because then otherwise we'll keep going around in circles. Bloggers in Bangladesh, as far as you're concerned, can write whatever they want to. Yes or no?
Yes, there are so many bloggers. They're writing
okay,
so many, posting so many
I the
writings
guests
on
disagree with
different
you,
issues.
Shamim.
No problem.
Let me just bring in Rafida, because she's actually doing
Yes.
this. Rafida, go ahead.
I would love to have, I would love to actually summarize the issues and ask some specific questions if I don't get interrupted by Mr. Shamim Ahmed as he just did.
It's a conversation, so we go back and forth, Rafida. Go ahead.
But I understand. They're talking at the same time when it was actually Raihan's turn to talk. But let me ask you, let me summarize what we have been talking about so far, right? So I think there are three issues we're talking about right now. One is freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and the concept that we have today in 21st century, not only in Bangladesh, in context of the world that we have right now, the civilization we have in 21st century. Number one, if you are saying that we have the right to express whatever we want, then how do your government actually arrest 4 bloggers, atheist bloggers, in the name of hurting someone's feelings? Who decides when someone hurts someone's feeling? A journalist was arrested yesterday with the ICT Act, Section 57. I am guessing that is also hurting someone's feelings. Number one. Hold on.
So Rafida, I want to go back and forth because we're going to run out of time for the show by the time you get to number 3. The ICT is the International Crimes Tribunal. Who decides? Very quickly, Shamim.
Pardon?
Who decides?
What?
Rafida had a question for you. Who decides?
ICT is the
Information and Communication
Communications and Technology. Technology Act.
The Bangladeshi government wants to arrest all the killers. It may
And the
be the
bloggers.
killers of blogger, killers of any citizens. Life of blogger is very much important, and equally important the life of every citizen in the eyes of the government. And the government is pursuing hard, trying its best to arrest the killers of the bloggers, and investigations are on. There are some suspects already brought to task, and
With due
and
respect,
the
Mr.
two
Shamim Ahmed,
suspects
please
of
answer
the
the question.
Niloy
Okay.
murder
All right, so
have
guests,
been
I'm
arrested,
going to push on a little bit.
and they are under interrogation.
Rafida, bear with me for 1 second. You mentioned ICT.
It's
It is
not-
the, Shamim,
not
hold tight for a second. The Information and Communications Technology Act. There's more than one ICT in this story.
Yes,
Take a
that's the
pause,
International
everybody,
Crimes
because it's not just you in the conversation, it's our community as well. Malika?
So I did want to bring this tweet up because there are people in our community that are really backing you up, Shamim, and what you had to say. This is Tel Kuder, who says, these bloggers need to respect religion. Free speech does not mean that one may use abusive language to get the message
No, I'm not
across.
telling that bloggers should respect religion. I'm saying that that's their freedom, whether they respect or not. But I want to say that any writing shouldn't hurt the
Okay,
other
now that's the
religious
question.
groups.
That's the issue. All right, so hold tight for a moment. Hold
it's a
tight,
thin line.
everybody. Allow Malika to finish her sentence.
Thank you, Femi. I think that is the thin line that people in our community are talking about. What is respecting versus harming? So this person, this is Nafisa. She's also a blogger. She's based in the U.S., though. She's Bangladeshi, and she says, it's hilarious that Bangladesh is a quote-unquote secular country because it actually isn't in practice when you see tweets like the ones I read prior to that. So Tahmina, do you want to weigh in here?
I think it is constitutionally a secular country with a large number of populations, a dominant population being from the Muslim community. Largely, in many ways, Bangladeshis are tolerant communities and tolerant with each other, and culturally also quite diverse. But at the same time, in the recent past, we've seen major intolerance with regard to political issues, with regard to issues on religion and freedom of belief. And this intolerance is growing. I would say that it is growing.
Rayhan, are there things that you as a blogger, and Rafida, are there things that you feel that you can't blog about, that you're not safe to blog about?
That is actually in response to what Mr. Shamim said a little while ago. Because just the other day, the Inspector General of Police, he actually kind of warned the bloggers, like what they can write and what they cannot, and he kind of encouraged various civil cases, criminal cases throughout the country. So that is one form of that actually draws the line, like what a blogger can write. They get the message from the government very clearly, and that same line was actually repeated by the Home Minister, the chief of one of the detective branch senior police official. So that is kind of that is the political line, that is the government's line we are hearing, and that's not very reassuring for us that we can write whatever we want.
Right.
So that is one thing.
Rafida, go ahead.
Exactly.
Rafida, can I just finish just another thing?
Hold tight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
No, just another thing is,
Yeah.
one of the tweets just saying that there is a limit to how far one can be offended or not. My view is it actually doesn't matter anymore what the bloggers are writing, because bloggers are writing, being targeted for writing for justice. Bloggers are targeted for writing on science. Bloggers are writing. They are targeted for all sorts of reasons. So I think putting a atheistic level and what is offensive, I think it is just an excuse.
If I could just make my point and to extend what Raihan Rashid was just saying right now, I think there are few issues that we need to focus on. One is the freedom of speech and this atheist blogger claim. And at the same time, when the Islamic fundamentalism and also terrorism is actually killing these bloggers, the government is staying either quiet, as Mr. Shamim Ahmed has said, because of perception, and also Prime Minister's son, Shajib Wazid, has said in the past that they are quiet because of the perception. Not only that they are staying quiet, at the same time, the police and the authorities are coming up and saying, we will arrest you. So tell me, what kind of message do we give to the Islamic terrorist at this point? It almost sounds like, okay, if you blog, we do say that you have freedom of speech in this country. It's a secular country, but we'll arrest you if you open your mouth. So there are a few issues: freedom of speech, what government is doing to handle.
We're going around in circles. We have 3 minutes. Let's take this to Shamim. Shamim, go ahead.
I want to tell you that what IGP has said about the don't cross the limit, there is debate over his statement. Perhaps he wanted to say that we have a law. If anybody hurts anyone's religious sentiment, he can go to court. There is a law, and maximum punishment is for 14 years for hurting the religious sentiment. We don't agree what the IGP said. He possibly picked up wrong words. It's not caution, but rather some sort of advice to remain.
Mr. Shamim, actually,
but we don't support the IGP's statement, but I think I have gone through the statement.
The IGP's statement. Is that what you were saying?
The IGP perhaps wanted to give a message to both sides. Okay, you practice your freedom within your limit, and at the same time, he gave a message to those who feel hard. As you go to court, don't take it law in your hands.
All right, so guests, this is really important.
Can I just
Guests,
come in?
everybody, you can, but I'm taking you all to the post show, so you can all get in and you don't all need to talk over each other. Is there one thing that you can say to the widow of a blogger who was also almost left for dead? What is that one thing you would say on behalf of the Bangladesh administration to Rafida? How do you make
Rafida, when Abhijit was killed, I was sitting in my office, in my newspaper office, New Age, on that fateful night. I'm really shocked at the incident. And our government is also profoundly shocked at the death of Abhijit and other killing of other bloggers.
Can I then ask him, because you asked a specific question.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina perhaps telephoned your father-in-law, expressed her condolence and everything.
Right.
And
Shamim
our
Ahmed,
Prime Minister
we're at the end of this part
pursued
of
a
the show.
policy of zero tolerance. Her family is a victim of terrorism.
Shamim,
so there is no doubt
you do have to listen to me, otherwise I'm going to tell you. It's the end of the program. I will take you to the post show. Shamim Ahmed, we're at the end of the show. Give me a pause, thank you. You will hear what Shamim Ahmed has to say next in the post show at stream.aljazeera.com. Tamina Rahman, Raihan Rashid and Rafida Bona Ahmed as well. As you can tell, a lot more debate to be had. We'll be doing that online. Thanks for watching. All right, aren't you glad that we have a post show? So many voices, so many important perspectives to get into in this conversation. Rafida, I didn't mean to hurry you along, but we literally have a hard break there. Now I can pick up. What was it that you wanted to say to Shamim? I know there were some very specific things. Let's go back to that.
Very specific things that I want to ask him. He hasn't answered my first question yet. That who decides on when I am hurting your feeling or someone's feeling when government can arrest me the way they arrested the 4 bloggers in the past. And then
so let's get, the reason we're not getting an answer is because you have a list. So let's leave it there. Shmi,
he hasn't.
Rafida, I can't say who will judge, but you know that what I am trying to say that everybody has got freedom of expression, freedom of writing. They can write whatever they like, but they must be a little bit careful that his writing or speech shouldn't
who decides on the line
any
of
other's belief. That's my point. And we don't
that,
support the
Shamim,
militants.
Shamim, the
we
way
are going in circles here.
Yeah, we are. So I'm going to push on because I don't think you're going to get an answer. That is your answer, Rafida.
Yes, exactly.
But
So
I
let me
have
ask you
something to
another
add
thing,
here.
that when my husband was killed in the street and your prime minister in Bangladesh actually called my father-in-law in secrecy, and nobody has ever contacted me when I was brought over to this country. And at the same time, when we are getting killed and hacked in the streets, and your government the next day comes up and says, we will arrest you for 14 years if you speak, what message do you give to the terrorists? Are you telling them, when you are not catching any of the killers, not bringing them to justice, are you telling them it's okay for you guys to go ahead and kill these people? We will actually protect you by arresting them when they speak. Is that the message are you giving?
No, not at all. First of all, I'm sorry that nobody from the government contacted you because it's not intentional.
I'm also a Bangladeshi citizen.
Yeah, it's not intentional. Maybe there may be some dislocation from the part of government, but government is very much serious, honest, and sincere to arrest the perpetrators, killers of Abhijit, Niloy, and other bloggers. There is no doubt about that.
I have to interject.
There is no doubt about that.
Right.
Government has formulated a lot of policies, lot of laws. They have set up task force. So,
can I speak
so
now,
there is
please?
no question of doubt about the government intention. Whatever police chief said or minister said, government is very much crystal clear.
All right, you've made that very
about
clear, Shmi.
zero
Let me
tolerance about
can
the
I just come in?
militancy.
Can I just come in,
Actually, I have to
Mr.
add here
Shamim? Rahan, can I just have 1 second, 1 minute?
Can I just get back to you
just
a
with
bit
due
later?
respect to Mr. Shamim, I am in Bangladesh and very much in touch with people's feelings and the thinking of civil society. There is one single message that the civil society that currently now wants to give to the government, that the government must come out much more strongly against these killings and in their condemnation, and actually do their best to see that the investigations are speeded up and trials are in place. There is no doubt in that this is the message that the people of Bangladesh, bloggers community, online community, free thinkers, journalists, and civil society organizations want to hear from the government. The government must signal an unconditional condemnation.
Right. Rayhan, I know you're dying to get in. Hold tight for 1 second, just for a second, because Malika has been waiting to get in before you were waiting to get in. Malika, go ahead.
There is a talk about the human face and the people actually behind this, those who are actually affected, the bloggers. And so this is a tweet from Hamidullah, and he brings it back to that. He says, sadly, some bloggers have stopped writing. Some have changed their online identity, while others are trying to leave the country. And I want you to hear a video comment from one of those bloggers who left the country. This is Rehan Abir.
Hello everyone, my name is Raihan Abir. I am a Bangladeshi writer, editor of Mukto Mona and co-author of The Philosophy of Disbelief with Abhijit Rai. I write in Bangla to promote science, to promote reason, to promote humanity. Last few years, people like me are being killed in Bangladesh by the Islamic extremists. And because of their continuous threat, I have to leave my home behind too. But I am still with Bangladesh, I am still fighting with a pen in my hand to make Bangladesh and the world a better place. Thank you.
So Rafida, for those who have left, we've heard that story, but for those who are still in Bangladesh, what are they having to do?
They're getting hunted down today. And they're getting, we see the copies of the text, the threats that the Islamic terrorists are sending them, that we are watching you, we're going to send you to close to Avijit and those, the atheist bloggers. And when they go to the police, the very government that Mr. Shamim Ahmed is referring to, when they go to the police, like Niloy, they do not get any protection. They're told informally, leave the country. We cannot give you any protection. I know that your government has provided protection for some very big intellectuals in Bangladesh, but the bloggers are completely unprotected. And but on the other hand, when they are getting killed in the street, in their own house now, there is no justice. Nobody is being arrested. Nobody is brought to trial. I think Raihan wants to say something about this. He has been dying to say something.
Yes, actually, I must comment on what Shamim said about the ongoing investigations. Because Bonna mentioned that so far the police hasn't contacted her, interviewed her. It is not just a being nice issue. It is more than that. It is an investigation issue because she is not just not a eyewitness to the incident of Abhijit murder. She herself was a victim, is a victim. I wonder what kind of investigation the government and the police is conducting by not interviewing the most important witness in this incident. So that is an answer I'd like to hear from Mr. Shamim. It is not being nice issue like saying hello to Bonna. It's more than that. Can you please explain that?
Or he was shot in his chair.
I can tell you that what wife of Niloy said that they went to the police station to register complaint and the police refused and advised them to leave the country. It's a matter of investigation. Although the Minister of Home Affairs said it's not correct statement, but anyway, if any police officers said this, the police officer must be brought to task. It's a gross lapse on the part of police officer duty. I fully agree with Tahmina that she said that government must be more loud in condemning the militants. You know, let's
and
think
can you
a
please
little.
answer my question?
Think a little bit wider, because not only bloggers. I have seen a report that they have issued a list of another 19 secular politicians, writers, journalists. They are on their hit list. So it's a little bit, I think it's a challenge to our democratic society, our secularism in Bangladesh. And government is really...
Shamim, let's not go to the big issues. Just answer one question. Why was Bonna, why wasn't she interviewed?
All right, so let me just intervene here a little bit, because he's not head of investigations. He's actually the press officer for the embassy, Bangladesh embassy here in DC. So there's only so much, Rehan, that we can get out of a guest who's actually come on to talk on behalf of the Bangladesh administration. But there is one thing I think is important. How do you keep bloggers safe in Bangladesh?
Yeah, you know that you think of Bangladesh as 160 million people.
Yeah.
And the number of police is around less than 300,000.
Yeah.
So one police is for around 600 citizens. It's difficult to protect each and every citizen's but at the same time, when any blogger or any citizen feels that his life is threatened, yes, I think our government, our police department will take care of it. It's not that I'm threatened and police doesn't take care. It's not the correct picture. But
What's changed now? Because I know
we must also think of.
You said in our pre-show
Bangladesh.
that since 2013, the atmosphere, the culture in Bangladesh has changed. It's become more dangerous, and these murders stem from that change in 2013. What's different now, the way that Bangladesh administration is dealing with this to keep people safe? They know that there is a hit list. You mentioned the hit list.
You see, it's the responsibility of any government to protect each and every
yes, I
citizen
know. That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking.
So it's not the blogger or secular or atheist. It's the general responsibility of a government to protect each and every citizen.
All right.
Look, so from that angle, I think government is working hard.
But I just hear you telling me they're working hard. I don't hear what's different.
But when the question of blogger comes, you know what is the reality in Bangladesh? When a blogger is killed, then the people know, oh, he has a blogger. But before that, they're not that much familiar figure in Bangladesh.
Are you sure about
so
that? Avijit wrote actually 10 books. He was
yeah, Avijit is a different. I respect Avijit for his writing.
I am
he's a very brilliant student of, and he tried to prove that there is no existence of God.
Shameen,
but fine.
Obviously, Rafida has a different perspective. Rafida, go ahead.
So when you are saying that these bloggers are very insignificant, right? That's the point you're trying to...
I didn't say. I consider bloggers are also citizens of Bangladesh.
Mr. Shamim Ahmed, with due respect, let me ask you one simple question. We know which bloggers are getting hunted down today, and they are not trusting the Bangladeshi government or the police to go and ask for help because they haven't been really supportive of any of us there. If you are saying government is working hard, that means you are actually taking the responsibility of the failure that you have failed to protect us because 4 bloggers were killed in 5 months. Number 2 is...
Rafida, what is the simple question? I need one simple question. We're out of time here. Give me the simple question.
Will you protect, if we actually give you a list, internationally publish the list of the people who are in danger and getting the threats, and you will openly, your Bangladeshi government will openly give a statement and say, we will protect them and we will monitor and make sure that these bloggers are protected in this country, and there will be an international watch on them. Are you willing to take that responsibility? This is a very simple question because they are the citizens of Bangladesh.
I tell you, our government is very much accountable and responsible, and government will provide security to each and every citizen of Bangladesh. If anybody's life is threatened, and if he informs the police that he is in danger, I'm sure our police department will take care of it.
Not really.
But you haven't
the very first step of accountability is justice, and we don't see any justice for our murdered bloggers.
All right,
so I don't know how do you claim that
you are
Bangladeshi.
You know the Bangladeshi situation. You know the public sentiment. You know our police. You know our efficiency or deficiency of our police department. Lack of logistic support. But
so you're saying you cannot
look at the intention of the government first. If you see the government intention is clear, I think there are. I admit that there are some lapses. We are not perfect.
Even with the intentions, our bloggers were on one hand they're being chased by chapatis. On the other hand, what we can see that they
will be able to capture all the killers.
Okay,
of the bloggers.
You are
Guess we're falling into a pattern in this conversation. The pattern is Rayhan, Rafida, Tamina ask questions. Shameen tries to reassure you that the government is doing everything that the government can. I know the answer to all of your questions, okay? We will go round in circles for that conversation. But I want to thank you for bringing this really important topic to us as an international conversation. You made it accessible. We hear how important it is and how passionate you are about it. Condolences to you, Rafida, and to all of the bloggers' families as well. I hope that things will change very much and very quickly in Bangladesh. Malika, where do you want to leave us?
Well, until they change, this is Shanto on Twitter, and he says bloggers are leaving Bangladesh in fear of death, and the killings must stop.
So you've been listening to Shameen Ahmed, Tamina Rahman, Rayhan Rashid and Rafida Bona Ahmed. Thank you for being part of this conversation. I really appreciate you giving us time today on the street. Take care.